And then technically, if I do that and go into YouTube, it's now recording, but I don't really care. The start of the broadcast could be shit, doesn't matter.
Mind you still not taking that photo down.
Why? We are up and we are live on the YouTube.
Are we? Good to
Aye.
go?
Good to go, we're live on YouTube. Oh fuck, I need to stop doing that. I also need to record it as well, that's a good shout. Which should be beneficial. So we can do that for later. Boom blast. Hey, cool. Evening everyone, episode 42, Beer Fridge Podcast. Good evening everyone, Gavin Baxter, and as you can see if you're watching on YouTube Live, Scott McMillan. Good evening mate.
Alright, how's it going?
Not bad.
Just
I like how
yourselves?
you've got your craft beer Bible thing
Aye.
seated there.
Somebody might have had a role in building me a new
Is that purpose?
kind of setup for my stuff to hide the iron board. It gives me the accents map and some beer books and stuff, so aye.
You could just
pretty
point
decent.
just point at flags.
Aye, point at flags, maps, calendar, you can see where it is in the year. Books about beer. I'm hoping some of the knowledge comes in by osmosis, because let's face it, I'm not fucking reading them. Not right now anyway.
I'm
No,
not-
I'm not
the
that
one-
talented.
Where is it? If I still, the one I got for Beer 52 is I've not read it. I've had a wee gander through it. The story of craft beer. I mentioned it last week because remember Dixon's nose.
Tommy Dixon on the
Bosh,
front.
right? One.
Famous.
I had a wee sniffer. I've still no started my homebrew yet. I need to get that started at some
I'm just
point.
about to ask for an update on that.
Aye, it's sitting downstairs. You know what? I'm actually really pissed off. So obviously I got the bucket and all that shite. I say all that shite, just the bucket. For Wilco, so the same place where I got given the homebrew stuff for. And then
Yep.
I went into, where did I go? The range. That's it. I went to the range a couple of days ago, just for a gander with the missus. And then they're doing homebrew stuff as well now. And but in their bucket, so remember how you were telling me, have you got the sanitising shit and all that, and you got this and you got this? For 20 quid, you get the same size bucket, but you get all that stuff inside it as well. So
See.
I've been like, I think my bucket was 15 quid, and this one was an extra £5, but you get the sanitising stuff, and then you get a couple of other bits and bobs inside it as well. So I kind of feel a bit gutted, to be fair. I might go and have to buy that one as well.
I'm assuming you didn't keep the receipt for the Wilco number. No.
I didn't.
Wouldn't have been like you. No. But it's only, I mean, if it's 15 quid, you're hardly likely to keep the receipt. And it's not like it's the same way, well, up here, I'd never have, there's only one Wilco that I know of. It's smack bang in the middle of the centre, and I'd never have picked it as somewhere that did anything craft beer related. Never mind the range.
I know. I've not seen even like, you'd expect maybe like a big supermarket, maybe Tesco or Asda or something to jump on it. I've not seen anything from them.
They're all full, try to get you to buy stuff, that would be a bit competition. Whereas they places, I don't know, I don't think Wilco sell any.
No,
I don't think they sell drink.
no, that's true. In fact, that makes sense, doesn't it? Because Tesco obviously want you to buy
The range definitely don't.
Aye,
Whereas it's like competition.
aye, that makes sense. That was a pretty silly comment. But
No,
aye,
I think that's probably their thinking. I mean, imagine you're a like buyer for Tesco. You're not going to get much. Like, you're not going to go have anybody asking for premium placement and
no,
take loads of units off us if like go and get loads of units of folk for popular stuff if they've got the alternative at a quarter of the price or whatever around the corner, you know. Make 60 odd pints for 20 quid.
Does really make sense. I've not mentioned it yet, but obviously Beer Fridge Podcast on the Beer Fridge Network. You can see it in the top corner there, beerfridgenetwork.com. Head over there and you can see everything with regards to our podcast and other podcasts that are part of the Beer Fridge Network. I don't know why I did that part umbrella thing. It's a bit gay, isn't it? Like the likes of MLS Aces, the soccer podcast. Who else? Beernomicon and Spotlight Sports. You think I'd have all this written down? Spotlight Sport podcast. He does live streams as well on YouTube. Also, so head over to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. Search Beerfridge Podcast. Twitter is Beerfridge Pod. Like and share. Incidentally, in fact, I'll do that. I'll say it later on. I'll save that bit for later on. There's been a lot of activity this evening on the old Twitter. Which I'll dive into a wee bit later on, but you can send us your comments if you're listening or watching on YouTube live, and they should pop up there. They should. He says that because he's I'm saying that because I sent a comment and it's not popped up, but it doesn't matter. But my mum says hi.
Is she?
Apparently. Nosy cow.
The only way she gets to see you lately.
That's true. Right, what are you drinking tonight? I myself are on the Chieftain Irish IPA Chieftain. I've had it before. I think I mentioned it. The Irish Pale Ale, which I'll have a wee. The archway to the courtway or court. I should really say it in an Irish accent, shouldn't I? Rich golden in colour with a burst of tropical fruit on a nose balance with a perfectly hopped finish. I've had it before. I've had it as a pint. It is where the Franz Ferdinand is it? How strong is this bastard? Fuck knows.
It's there. Christ, I can see it nearly, is it not?
Can you?
Is it not at the edge? That side.
Oh, 5.5. I see it now. How did you? How can you? Like, it's tiny. You never seen that. You're full of shite.
No, eagle eye.
Aye. Bye, Chieftain.
Always looking for the percentages, looking to ensure session. And where it isn't, that it's called out early doors so that people have enough warning in order to make determine the correct life choice, whether that be to go for maximum or continue at a normal pace.
I see. What are you on tonight?
I have the 4 Pure Brewing Company Citrus Pale Ale, one in my Flavourly box, which I'm trying to make it through.
Are you still going through that?
I've not had much, to be honest. I was out on Saturday at the ice cream shop.
As you do.
A bleak pub that sells pints of tenants with a massive heat on it. I was out there on Saturday, and actually, to be fair, most of the pints that were poured exquisitely, and I must commend them for doing so. But it was just that one that managed to make it onto social media that they didn't take the knife to.
It.
But it was good, but I didn't then get the chance to enjoy many. I keep thinking every time I pick one out of that box that it's one of the wee 2.5% numbers, which is, as far as I'm concerned, a can of 7-Up. So, I don't know. I've not got, and we're limited on real estate in the fridge.
Oh yeah,
no limit. Like
I've
put loads of sauces and juice and stuff like that.
Right.
So I've no much room, and I had to horse that other bottle. I bought 2 bottles of that stuff Aldi that tastes like fag ash.
Oh right, okay.
The peaty stuff. It was like it had been rolled about in soot. It was howling. Anyway. Enough of that. This stuff's really good.
What is it?
A wee hashtag Flavourly glass. So
I'm surprised you've not finished that box yet.
No, I've just been taking my time.
I didn't say that. It is what, 20?
Aye, it's 20 beers. But I did have punk IPAs and stuff left, and I was out Saturday. Sunday I didn't drink at all, being the Sabbath and that. Tell a lie, I had a couple of glasses of wine. That's I didn't have any beer. So that was. I'm taking my time with it. It's pretty good, just having one every now and again.
I mean, I probably made the mistake with like the beer 52 box, like just firing through it. Which is, I did pay the last one I did pace it. I had a couple for 1 week, and then I saved it primarily for the podcast, and then had a couple the week after. But it's nice to spread them out a wee bit, to be fair.
Yeah, I quite like doing and keeping. There's nothing worse than having. I don't like no having anything sitting for the podcast. So
if I've not got in, I need to go and buy something. That's why I bought that Chieftain this afternoon, and then I know I like it. I was going to have my usual hop house, but I thought I'd get something a wee bit different. But for myself, I don't know if I've picked it before. I'm going to say I haven't, but the Old Chieftain will be my beer of the week this week. So Chieftain, the Irish Pale Ale, is Gavlar's beverage of the weekie.
Where is that place for? What's Franciscan Well? Where's that for? Where did you get that beer about?
Corp.
Tesco.
Oh, where did I get this one? I got this one. Co-op.
The Co-op.
Cooperative. The wee Co-op. And I had a pint of it up in Tamworth about a month ago. No, 2 months ago. 2.5 months ago. I had I first tried it. I had a nice big pint of it in an old tumbler. It's very nice.
It'd be good to try and draft, see what it's like.
It's no much, to be fair. I know having beers and draft, usually you get a different taste for it and stuff. It's kind of how I remember it tasting for draft. So
that's what you want, eh?
I was quite apprehensive about having it in a can, because you know it's like you have a pint of it, and then you go, there's a beer I had in a can. I was like, I'll buy that, and then you find it tastes like shite in a can. Any beers of the week for yourself?
Other than Tenants. I quite like this, actually. I'm pleasantly surprised. Because of the low alcohol volume stuff that I'd seen in the Flavourly box, or Dixon had pointed out in the Flavourly box, it kind of made me apprehensive about trying any of the 4 Pure stuff. But this citrus pale ale's lovely. It's no mega fruity, but it's quite light.
That's light. Something here.
There's definitely something there, but it's no like drinking jam.
To be fair though, like if you're, I mean myself, I'll maybe have Foster's and stuff every so often. Most nights, or they'll have a one or two cans. But what is Foster's? What,
4.5? Is it 4.4?
Just 4. Like having like a wee light beer every now and again, just to. You're still having beer, but you're not having anything too heavies. No such a bad idea after all, especially with if you're looking at Beer Fridge Fitness. If you haven't listened to episode 2 is live with Mark and Dan from Spiral Fitness. The boys have a chat. Head over and have a gander at that. I'm surprisingly getting quite into that. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
The Beer Fridge Fitness ones.
I've not listened to them yet. I'm waiting.
Surprisingly getting quite intrigued. Dan sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Dixon, on the other hand, clever shite.
Fucking hopeless.
Brilliant. Right then, so if you're in and around the London area this weekend, the Craft Beer Rising Festival is this weekend, the 21st to the 23rd of February at the Truman Brewery in London's Brick Lane, with 155 brewers, with the likes of Tiny Rebel, Brooklyn Brewery, I know, Goose Island are there, Yeasty Boys, Fierce Beer, Brewdog, and tons more. The list is a massive, obviously 155 long, fun enough. We've also got live music from the likes of the Cuban Brothers, no idea, sounds intriguing, 07 Jaguar, plus many more, obviously, and they're going to have some serious street food on hand also. I think looking at the website, which is craftbeerrising.co.uk, it sounds like it's the same kind of setup as that Edinburgh Craft Beer Experience, where it's a session. You go for you go for a session.
Much is it to get in?
I don't know. If you do want more info, craftbeerrising.co.uk. Hello Midwest Sports, how you doing, gentlemen? Head over there for more information on the Craft Beer Rising Festival in London, which I wouldn't mind going to. There's another one actually in April in Birmingham. Birmingham, which is
Peaky Blinders on Birmingham.
Which is a halfway house, incidentally, between obviously me down the south coast and you boys up there in the Dale.
When is it? In April?
Can't remember. Can't mind.
Worth a peek.
Worth a wee gander. Right, something I want to run past you, and it's not necessarily my opinion, it's just a hot take that I kind of come up with this evening. It was playing on my mind, not playing on my mind, but just I thought of it basically. So with all the success and the rise of craft beer, are we potentially in the future looking at all these smaller, more traditional pubs struggling and maybe shutting down? So all this kind of craft beer is obviously fairly brand new, and it's obviously targeted at a fairly young-ish audience. All the kind of students and all the kind of hippies who love all their crazy tasting beers. Oh yeah. Are we looking at potentially in the next maybe not 5 years, 10 years time, like all these wee pubs who traditionally had your Carlin, your Tennants, your Peshwa, essentially struggling to kind of grow their clientele and just more younger audiences to their pubs. I was looking for a fancier word there, but pubs.
I think for the ones that don't look to embrace some sort of different, like obviously it's very difficult to get people to come out to drink publicly now, considering the price. If you look at, especially in the major cities, if you look at London, you look at Edinburgh, Glasgow to a slightly lesser extent, Newcastle again to a lesser extent, but places like that, you're charging a premium, so you've got to offer. I think to get people to go out there, you've got to offer something different. Whether that is you see it even with the pubs that have survived round about even our local area, and West Lothian's kind of some people would describe it, and no be far wrong by saying it's kind of the back of beyond. And the pubs that have survived are ones that have either moved with the times, or they're open late, in which case they're the
establishments.
They have a monopoly that's open at that time. You know what ones I'm talking about. But the ones that have stayed open and have thrived, if you like, have moved with the times. So it might not be a particular move towards a craft beer, but they have tried
something different. At least
with bottled ales, they have tried with various kind of guest lagers, if you like, knowing what their clientele's capable of, and the majority, because it costs money to stock a certain thing, they need to be able to shift it, and they need to be able to shift it stuff that, or stock things within a price range that's going to continue to have people come out somewhere that's within walking distance. There's also the live music side of things, and there's also they've made quite an effort on, a lot of places have made quite an effort on the spirits front with things like various different kinds of gins.
Exactly. Gin scene's has changed a lot in it. Obviously,
and it's a bit easier to pick that up because the gin keeps longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not really got a sell by date on it. It has, but the shelf life's a lot longer than being stuck with a keg of Punk IPA or something like that maybe one in every 50 people that walk through the door of a weekend buy. And you know what your normal, I mean, the pubs like that, local pubs, don't make their money with the best will in the world of people going in there once every 3 weekends or something like that to buy something that's really high quality. They're going in there every weekend or every second weekend, sometimes one night through the week, for a bit of normally the social aspect, but also they're looking for something that's affordable that allows them to unwind, de-stress, enjoy a pint, whatever it is, but within their, and they would need to get rid of something. So a lot of them, you would need to get rid of something that's selling particularly well to go on a limb and try something else.
I mean, I think I completely agree with what you're saying as well. Like I said, it's not necessarily my opinion that these smaller pubs will shut down in the next 5-10 years or whatever, but you can see it generally, like from our generation to from my dad's nearly, he is 50 or nearly 50, one of the two, I don't care, whatever. And your dad, your dad the same as well. Like they've grown up just drinking pish water, basically drinking Tennent's, Foster's, that kind of and Guinness and all that stuff. And now all the kind of craft beer and all this new stuff was kind of more introduced during our time. I've always drank pish water most of the time, and then yourself and Mark have been on the craft beer a bit more longer than me. But through doing this podcast, I've introduced to a lot more beers that I've discovered that I actually like, surprisingly, especially at Hop House 13, the Chieftain, etc. It's more for I'm thinking along the line when a generation dies off, and then it's a case of obviously pubs and bars need to make it accessible to a younger audience, and obviously having this wave of craft beer with all the young team, they need to kind of get these folk in the pub, and like you said, I think the way to do it is through live music, etc. I know I'm always a diet for going to the pub when there's got music on. I love going to a pub when it's got music on, live music. But for example, I mean, craft breweries themselves, there was in 2016 there was 1,994 brewers in the UK, and that grew in 2017 by 14%. I don't have any of the figures for the next 2 years, but it's still growing and growing and growing. And that's even from microbreweries, from little tiny wee startups, who are just getting a piece of the pie. Everyone just want a piece of the pie, because it's probably maybe one of the major industries at the moment, especially in the UK, that is growing and is making money. Whereas obviously in the times that we're in, with Brexit looming over, everything's kind of got to shit. But the brew industry is thriving.
It's just, you need to move with whatever it is you've got going on. It's the same with so you've also got, it's this weird kind of generational thing where you've got people who like craft beer and stuff like that tend to fit into, a lot of them fit into your kind of hipstery.
It's hipsters and
hipsters
and
students, where you're going to get the majority of it, and you're going to get some students, but even then I don't think you're getting everybody. I mean, there's still people, the place for pubs that we're talking about that might be kind of on the road out are either for your generation who just who go to their local pub because for the social side of things they know that maybe they're not getting served the best quality stuff.
Aye, well let's take where we, well, not me personally right now, but where we all used to live. A wee place called Armadale in Scotland. It's kind of right in the middle between Glasgow and Edinburgh, basically out in the sticks, essentially in the back roads. That what population of what, a couple of thousand?
I think so, aye.
And on the high street, or at least there's one, well, in Armadale there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pubs: Cavalier, Regal, Corrie Bar, Highlander. And there used to be another 2 actually. There was obviously Tap of the Bray and
The Bucks.
Now they two
The
aren't
snooker
there
clubs, I don't know if this is how much I only stay next to along. I couldn't tell you if the snooker club's still open.
Snooker club, aye. So there's five that are still open. Now, if you put, obviously Armadale isn't the fucking the hub of fucking craft beer scene. It's not got that kind of clientele anyway. But if you kind of had that, if you had that kind of around it, 5 pubs, you'd be asking 5 pubs to change there, and they wouldn't all change just because of the way they are. They're old traditional kind of pubs. They wouldn't all.
But then if you look at the only one that's moved any is the one that's probably got the most footfall. There's more people are gone past the Corrie than there is any of the rest of them, and the rest of them haven't shifted at all. They continue to stock their stuff. That's Stingray. It's the only place you can get anything other than Tennant's Guinness Strongbow. Tennant's Guinness Strongbow.
My mum just texted me copies. So there's 6 that are open.
Oh Christ, that's still alive as well. They all just stick to what they're there for. So,
but this is
Copies
what I'm saying.
Copies has a certain thing, but you've not got any. You don't have any clientele there looking for craft beer.
No,
it's
you didn't. No, completely.
It's different in Edinburgh though. So if you look at like Deacon Brody's, right?
Aye.
Deacon Brody's is a pub that's just off or on the Royal Mile, right? It's just at the very beginning, like
Aye.
just as you're heading up to the castle, and it's a typical pub. It's no pretending to be. It's a Young's pub, so it does Young's
Aye.
ale. That's it. It does your usual Tennants, it'll do Belhaven stuff, your usual gubs, and they sit and have. That's all they're ever going to do. They get tourist footfall going in there, and they don't need today. I don't know if that's going to change. They've got a restaurant there that does usual like traditional Scottish pub fare, which is just all. They're not touching craft stuff at all because there's no point in. I mean, if you stuck a keg of Punk IPA in there, it wouldn't make a blind bit of difference. It's not like you're going to get anybody going in there that's your tourists going in there wondering, oh, I need to have Punk IPA because it's traditionally Scottish. You know, if you're looking for clientele like beer tourists, if you like, they're going either straight to the brewery or they're going to the like Brewdog's probably the only one that's got its own, that's branched out and has its own pubs. There's 6 Degrees North and there's Caravan, but they're doing stuff for their own. A lot of the places doing Leith Walk and stuff like that are doing stuff for their own microbrewery, which is I think where it's going to go. If anything's going to kill the pubs that are there, it's going to be going straight to the brewery for stuff, because not only can you get the live music, you get like there's that North Brewing Company, they have their own, a guy that does Asian fusion stuff, so like he makes like bao buns and stuff like that. That's done. It's in England somewhere, but it's like North Brewery or something. But they've got they'll post on Instagram quite regularly about the guy they've got. It must be a restaurant, but they've just got a guy for this place in there all the time. So whenever they're open, he's making Asian fusion stuff. So it's like having street food there all the time.
You know what?
And you've got to buy slabs of beer when you're going away. Find something that you like. They've not got to then compete. They're getting folk to go buy. It's within, if you look at Edinburgh, it's within relatively close walking distance. You can go down there, you go straight to the brewery, try 6 or 7 different kinds, buy a slab of it, or take some home with you for later. And they've not got to compete with anybody else.
No, you know what? You're spot on there, mate. I agree with that, because I see it as well on the Beer Fridge Twitter at Beer Fridge Pod. swiping through it, and you've, like you said, all these breweries, and they're now doing, they're having like evenings and stuff, and they're doing like mini wee festivals once a month or once every couple of months, and the brewery are having live music and stuff, and you can, like say, you can take a slab of something you like that you've tried,
order it on the internet and have it delivered to your house later. You know what I mean? You can try it, and it saves them having, you're not then having to compete with a punk IPA tap or whatever and put it in, which obviously it costs a lot to one, have the volume there to distribute it, but also to and have to fight with everybody else for tap space. Whereas you can keep it to yourself, you can sell it when you've got it, you only make as much as you can store, and it all happens on the one place, so you're not having to distribute it all over the place, and you 100%. Can get folk to come to you.
100%. No, definitely.
That's the bit that would kill it, and I think that could even kill bars that's even going to have a negative impact on bars that stock craft beer, so like say you're hanging bats and stuff like that.
The other thing that's just popped to mind as well, so the one thing about these pubs as well, that we tend to go to them, the reason is at the weekend when we go to them is they've got the football on, they've got a live sport on the TV. Now with the likes of all these streaming services that are now available, you just whacking a wee stick in your telly and your bish bash bosh, off you go, and all these smart tellies. That is obviously you go to the pub for the social aspect, but if you go to my mum's obviously clearly googling like mad. She's message saying the population of Armadale was just short of 11,000. So there you go. But
too many.
But the likes, so like my dad's he's made his own bar at the back garden, and he's got a smart TV, so he whacks a smart TV in. Folk go into his, and he's gets a couple of crates of beer. Nothing too dramatic. It's usually either Budweiser or the most the exotic beers, or maybe a Corona or a Peroni or something. But aye, 100%. The microbrews are having their own wee special evenings, and like I say, I think that all these streaming services and stuff, and being able to get your sport kind of in your hand straight away, I think that'll have affected. But do you think for the international breweries, I don't really want to bring it up, but I'll bring it up anyway. Obviously, this arse right of Brexit that we're kind of stuck in the middle of, with the likes of like Brooklyn Lager, your Goose IPAs and stuff. Who else? I can't remember who else. But is that going to impact at all, you think?
I think so. It depends on how tariffs and things like that work. Obviously, there's a lot of. It makes things a lot easier for it to flow through Europe, and you don't have to have a separate agreement there just for the UK, which will change, I'd imagine. And it's adding on an extra stop to whatever the distribution is, and that might price some of these guys out. I mean, and to be honest, it's up for them to weigh up how big a market is the UK. Now, for a lot of them, it'll be a massive. Yeah. It'll probably be one of their biggest, if not the biggest, international market to somebody that's based in the US. But I mean, if you look at like Brewdog, probably a prime example. Even guys here are desperate to get into America and break that market, because there's a lot of craft beer there, but also you can get, if you have a base there, you can get involved in your own hops and stuff like that, which are traditionally the most expensive bit of beer making, is getting decent hops. And the American guys are charging a premium for it. So Brewdog, now that they've got a base in Colorado, it means that they can make stuff there, distribute it there without having to send it, so it doesn't have to travel, and they can buy a lot they'll get a better deal on hops that they're having to send internationally. But that the Brexit thing kind of puts that in jeopardy a bit, because it's going to cost them to bring it back if they're not growing them in the UK, which it makes the taste different.
It'll be it's
going to be weird.
It is going to be, as much as I didn't want to bring up Brexit because it's a whole pile of shite, but it's going to impact in some shape or form anyway.
Everything.
It's going to have absolutely.
But from a totally selfish point of view, yes, an impact on beer, which is
Well, the good thing is
Just
at least Foster's, that Australian lager's brewed in
that's
Edinburgh,
weird, yeah.
so that's all right.
She would forget that fucking recipe. I really do.
Right then, on to...
The problem is it's not a secret. It's just bleach.
It's not a secret at all. It just here. I'm not surprised.
Bleach, other unnamed chemical.
Surprised I've not got a hole in my liver or some shit now. On to something a wee bit more cheesy than Brexit. Your dad sells Avon. Your dad sells Avon is where we kind of take a pick or find something that is just absolutely fucking unbelievable in a bad sense. And my pick for your dad sells Avon is the Iranian TV broadcaster IRIB or IRAB or whatever.
Arab.
Who cares? IRIB. I'm calling it IRIB.
Arab.
Just went to the ocean, got an IRIB. Which cut their broadcast of the Augsburg v Bayern in Munchen game at the weekend. Do you want to know why they cut the broadcast?
Oh, was it no a lineswoman?
No, it wasn't.
Was it?
You're half there. Women is
It was
in
definitely something to do with a woman, was it not?
it was because there was a woman ref.
That was it, referee.
Because the referee was a woman. Now, I get it from a standpoint of the religion. However, to cut the broadcast because a woman's a ref, go fuck yourself. That game finished 3-2. After reading the report, she had complete control of that game. She took no shit, and she called it right down the line and called it perfectly. So, IRIB, it's probably not how you say it, I don't really care. The Iranian TV broadcaster, your dad sells Avon! Thank you, just got that off my chest, feel a bit better now.
That is passionate.
2019, come on. You know what I mean? I know sometimes this whole women power gets a wee bit fucking out of hand, gets a wee bit mental. But I'm all for it. But it just goes a bit crazy. And cutting the TV feed because a woman's the referee, away and hang yourself. Maybe
That doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense. Regardless of whether it's religiously based or not, it doesn't matter. The woman's out there to do a job. You're cutting your nose off to spite your face a bit, surely, you know. Like, that's your whole thing. I mean, what did they put on instead?
Fuck no, but you missed a good game, 3-2. 3-2 game to Bayern. Bayern are now...
Well, they paid money to host the Bundesliga as well.
Exactly. They've paid to broadcast it. They've probably sent money to the Bundesliga for the rights for it, and you didn't show it because of a woman reffing. Away you go, away and run up my ribs.
Doesn't make any sense.
Nah, stupid. You got any buddy you want to introduce to your Da Sales Avon? While you're thinking, I'm going to nip at my beer fridge here.
Nah, see, that's insanity. You've got yours close.
It's only reaching.
I've run out and I'm just miles away.
Reaching distance.
You watch, you'll strain your back. I've not really got anybody. I've not really had the chance to pick out anybody and moan at them, to be honest.
That's alright, don't worry. Sometimes there's nobody to help.
Sometimes there's folk that go on your goat, I get that, and then normally I do have somebody, but trying to have a bit of a more positive outlook now that I'm getting older. Trying just to let things go.
Hold on. You've changed.
Just a wee bit. I'm just trying to. It's only been I'm 3 days in, so I could all go Pete Tong and the Mora.
What made you change your turn
Well,
on your
I'm
leaf?
getting older.
Oh, fuck off, getting older.
I turn 30 soon, which is old. And I don't know. Is it worth it to get yourself hit up? Because
you get yourself worked up over fucking anything, which is hilarious.
I start worked up. That's the problem. But then it affects your whole day. Like if you have a massive big rant about something, it can hang around about you like a black cloud for the whole day. It's about mindfulness, I think.
A new you.
Aye.
No, in
as
fact,
I said,
in fact, see that annoys me. See when folk go new year, new me. No, it's not a new you. It's the same fucking you. Rephrase it. Say new year, better me, better me.
It's a bit of baby step in the right direction. I think it's all good to have a laugh and a carry on, but to let everything get on top of you it makes me heavier than I already am, and I'm quite heavy. So that's my attempt is to have a. So I've not really been focusing too closely on things to let them get me wound up.
I've noticed on the podcast you smile more. Anyway,
I'm trying. I'm still fearing my face might break.
Right, let's talk about Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea got beaten yesterday in the FA Cup 2-0 to Man United, and they're just looking at absolute shambles. Sarri, I believe, there's a discussion with the hire at Chelsea about his situation, and then on Sky Sports this evening, they broke the news that they're already talking about replacements. Which, if you're on Twitter, not hashtag, at BeerFridgePod, we have a poll up currently, and I'll give you the options here. So, Sky Sports said it's between Big Zizi, Zidane, and Big Frank Lampard, which I think's a joke because he's only been at Derby for 6 months. Anyway, so we've put it to the public, and I think I put this out about an hour before we went live. So who do you want to replace Sarri at Chelsea? Zidane, Lampard, Emma Hayes, who is the Chelsea's women manager, or Kermit the Frog? Now, have a guess. What's the
Kermit the Frog's
we've had 33 votes. 33 votes. Big Zizi's got 33%, Lamps has got 15, Emma Hayes on 12, and Kermit the Frog was on 39%. So I think that's.
Listen, I thought you were going to give me an option of 20 Regal King size. So that he's having a great time at. I think his players are kind of letting him down as well.
No, but see when you turn round and go, I can't motivate the players. They don't get motivated. I can't do it. You're fucked. As soon as the big wigs are going, well, if you can't motivate the players and you can't get them.
But his only response seems to have been, it's not like he's has an arm around the shoulder to anybody. He's basically like
just sitting there tuning a fag.
Marcus Alonso must be absolutely bricking it every time he goes. Like, we thought Mourinho was bad with the Luke Shaw thing, which was bad, but
that was bad.
Almost on the same level as that. I mean, the Marcus Alonso, his weak point has always been the fact that he's not great going back the way.
Aye.
Which he makes up for in how he plays going forward.
Aye.
Now, the middle, in the past or earlier in the season, the middle of that defence was performing in such a way that they were covering for him. Mm-hmm. And he was doing a lot going forward, which was then keeping the pressure off him. So even when Chelsea did lose a goal, he was going up there and putting in a decent cross to help them.
Aye.
Now I think what's happened is that teams have obviously they're gone through this patch. I don't think their keeper's particularly great.
No, I don't think so either.
Keeper isn't great. He's needing to keep a Kepa away. Who's there? Somebody was saying, is there sub goalkeeper? Is it Rob Green or something like that?
I think so.
Bring him in to somewhere. The back of beyond, he's in a field.
I think it is Rob
pasture.
Green.
So they need to bring him back because he's not having a great time at that goalkeeper.
And they need to start playing fucking Kanté in the right position.
Aye, that doesn't. He's obviously trying to play. What I think Chelsea have done is they've kind of backed themselves into a corner where they've got two ideas that don't mix with one another, which is I had kind of thought was working for a bit. He was playing players that he and perhaps should have seen jumped the gun a bit, thinking they might go out, and I think they probably have strengthened a wee bit in Higuain, but no enough.
No, his age doesn't help him, but he's still quality. He's definitely still quality.
Of the service.
Aye.
And he needs to be playing with a team that's then no under pressure.
Aye.
Now, you've got two things. One idea is that they're not wanting to make the same investment in the team as they did before, right?
Mhm.
Which is totally here's a word coming for you. Juxtaposed
Ooh.
to Sarri, who needs a particular set of players playing in a very particular way in order to achieve what he wants, which means he's had a massive shopping list before he started, and that shopping list hasn't been fulfilled. He's basically, what they'd have been better saying is, we need to bring you in as manager, and we need to bring your entire starting 11 for Napoli with you in order for this to work. You know what I mean? Like, we need to bring the whole team, because it's like lightning striking him, where he's got that. He's no very many managers that have got that specific way of playing. Even like so, you've got Guardiola has that. He has a particular way of playing. Now, whenever he goes anywhere, and because of how successful he's been, has the clout and would only go somewhere where he's going to be back to the level that he's going to get to go out with his shopping list and get exactly who he wants, and get 3 versions of who he wants in the team that he's got at the moment, which is ideal. But you've got then Sarri, who is at a team where he's not going to get that, so you have to then show some flexibility. Like you're saying, he needs to play Kante in the position that he should be playing in order to provide cover for a poor set of centre backs that aren't great. You've got David Luiz, who's had a mistake in him since he was 18 and continues to have that mistake in him every single game. He's not got great quality playing beside him to help him through. He's expected to be the leader. You've then got Marcus Alonso on one side, who's not great. Azpilicueta is good, but isn't as young as he used to be.
Exactly.
Who played at centre half for a good portion of the previous season, so probably isn't great out in that right hand side anymore. He's not getting. It's like you can't scrimp, and what you need if you're going to scrimp and scrape a bit when it comes to buying players is somebody who's flexible enough to take whatever is there and make it work, and flex their system round about what's there, rather than having a specific way of playing where you then play everybody out of position, including your best player in Hazard, play him out of position for a good portion of the year, which costs you results, arguably. And you're honestly you've got a young talent there. You've got Hudson-Odoi, you've got Kante, who's playing in the wrong position. These are guys that you probably try and play something round about, but it's going to mean playing a different style, and he is never going to do it. So all they've talked themselves into with that is, if you weren't going to back him, you should never have had him in the first place. That was a bad appointment to make if you're not going to back him with the right money.
I think as well, for the games that I've watched of Chelsea, they start a game with a certain tactical mindset, and if it goes tits up and they start losing, he doesn't change it. He just keeps going with what he said at the start. With the likes of what you're saying, like Pep, if he starts a system one way and it's not working, he'll quite easily switch it up, and the players are quite capable of switching up and know what he wants. Sarri, 100%. He just
has no flexibility at all, and because of that, like you say, if a team have set up, so if you look at Man United, they've got somebody like they've got Pogba, who's playing at his skin as it stands at the moment. So all they need to do is put him and say, we're going to overload on the side that Marcus Alonso's on, because he's hopeless come back the way, and we'll just pick passes out. We'll put 2 balls in the box. We've got somebody, a big wooden head, that's there and available to stick the ball in the back of the net, and they'll go and do that because their centre halves aren't up too much. So what we'll do is we'll drag Alonso over, he'll make an arse at it, one of their centre halves will come out to try and cover it, and they'll have nobody back there to try and pick stuff off. That's where you need a Kante then looking at sitting back there trying to pick out what Pogba's putting through, and no letting them have that overload on that side. But he doesn't change anything, and he just says, "I will just keep battering our head against the wall here and hope that numbers eventually cover us." You know.
I mean, what was the Man City score? 6-0? Was it 6-0?
I think so.
And they looked just completely shit.
And you can tell the players didn't have any faith in it as it stands at the moment. Which is why they're not, I mean, a lot of the times that it takes something a bit special for somebody like Hazard, but he's been doing that all season, but he's not the kind of player that he's not got that. He has got the consistency. That's not the right thing to say. It's hard when you've got such a gulf between you and everybody else.
Everybody else, and he has to shoulder the load for the other 10 guys, and it's tough to do in the Premier League. But you can lower leagues. You can have like one amazing player, and you can maybe carry the rest. But in the Premiership, especially in the top 4, top 5, you can't be doing that.
No, I mean, he says right. He'll say rightly, and when it does go, and he does get relieved of his duties, if you like, he'll say, "I never got back to the right amount of money," which is true.
Aye.
I think all the blame sits, the majority of the blame anyway, sits with Chelsea, because they knew what they were getting. They knew he was like that. They knew that he has a specific way of playing. They know that he's set in his ways and that he's rigid and doesn't change it. It doesn't take much of watching what was there before with Napoli to know that was that was always going to be the way they would play.
Aye.
So if you're not going to back him properly, then it was never going to be the right appointment.
So out of the two that's been mentioned from Sky Sports, they're saying Lamps and Zidane. The one that would make sense football wise would be Zidane. However, the flip side of that is kind of where it comes back with Sarri. Whereas if you say, alright, Zidane, you'll take the team, but Zidane's only what to come in unless he gets backed with, like you're saying, the money to get his players in.
Cash.
And if Chelsea aren't up for spending money, then you have to look at somebody else. And then obviously that, and Lampard's an easy one to pick. Obviously he's a Chelsea legend and stuff. He'll get back with the fans, and the fans will
He's not going to have a
time.
Massive shopping list.
Exactly.
He's not going to come asking for loads of cash.
Exactly. So if you're looking at it that way, with what Chelsea's problems are, with it's not necessarily Sarri. It's obviously it is Sarri. He's not wanting to change, but then it's because he's not getting the players into his system. You'd lean towards more that it's potentially going to be somebody like Lampard that takes over,
unless they're gearing themselves up for a massive expenditure, which I just don't think they're going to do. I don't think they're ready to throw that weight behind it. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're ready to throw that kind of weight behind it, which they're going to need to do. They can't scrimp and scrape and appoint somebody like Zidane, otherwise they're going to be paying off their third manager, which is a massive expense as well, by the way. Their third manager in 18 months or something.
100%.
They're going to end up doing 2 and 12 anyway. Who'd be better doing is maybe appointing somebody like, and I don't, if it was me, if I was Frank Lampard, I would be really weighing up whether this makes sense or not, but saying, look, you've got an option there to take us till the end of the season, with the potential option, should we choose to invoke it, that you'll get that, where you'll get to stay on next season, and with a massive, they've done it before. They did it with, what was his name, who's the manager that took them to the Champions League final and won?
Oh Christ, I can't remember that.
Was it Di Matteo?
It might have been.
No, it wasn't. I can't remember.
I don't know why I said that might have been. I don't have a fucking clue.
But he took them. He took them on, and then he got the option to stay. He was another kind of stopgap manager for them that got to stay on. But I would be. It's not the same as what Solskjaer was doing, which is not to belittle football in other areas of the world, but it's not the same as leaving somebody in Derby who's trying to get in, whether it be playoffs or automatic promotion, whatever it is they're fighting for. And I've not looked at the championship table to see where,
this was what was intriguing me. Obviously we're talking about Lamps, and I've brought it up to see where Derby are in the championship. They're sitting 7th at the moment on 51 points.
So is that one outside the playoffs then? Is it top 6?
Top 6, I believe.
Is it?
I know, is it? Or the top? Is it no top 5? Because
possibly. You get one automatic promotion,
and then there's 4 after that, innit?
Don't know.
I think that's it. And if it is that, then they're only 3 points out of it. So it goes. They're 10 points behind. Well, I'll go for the top. So Norwich City are currently top of the league in 63, and Derby are sitting 7th on 51. The 2 teams above them that I believe, if I'm right, I think it is 5. Oh, the top 5 for the playoffs. I could be wrong. hopefully you're typing up and checking it. The teams above them are Bristol City and Middlesbrough, which there's
contested by the teams finishing 3rd to 6th in the EFL Championship table.
So it's 6. So the next
semi-finals played over 2 legs.
One team, so they're one position out, which is Bristol City. They're
You're on how many points? 2
53.
points.
They're 2 points behind them. 2 points. If I'm Frank Lampard, I don't take the Chelsea job because there's too much risk there involved. I would say that to take a Chelsea job and it go tits up, that's just going to be a black mark on him. I know it would kind of get that. It would kind of get like, all right, fair enough. You took on near enough the end of the season and whatnot. However, you're doing a good job at Derby. Just stay where you're there. Stay where you are.
It's different. It's like I say, it's different to the scenario where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where you've got the option to leave that, and you're not going to. It's not like it's difficult. You're not going to you're not giving up as much as what you are with that. The chance to get a team into the Premier League is going to do masses for your stock.
There you go.
My
dad just sent me off.
For you, than it would be for you to leave a Championship team who've got the chance to get into the Premier League.
He's had two. Lamps has had 2 transfer windows to build his Derby team the way he wants it, and to walk into a Chelsea team which is
dejected.
Isn't he yours? Isn't he motivated apparently? And you're going to lose Hazard anyway. I don't know why you'd bother. Genuinely don't know why you bother. Talking about Solskjaer, we obviously spoke about Chelsea quite in depth there, and to be honest, I can't really give a fuck about Chelsea. Solskjaer, on the other hand, I've not got anything written down, it just popped to me, but Solskjaer is absolutely killing it at the moment at Man United. He's given that team freedom. He's given the best player on their team, Pogba, freedom. He's now a different player. He's a player that he was from the World Cup, and I believe, obviously we did the top 10 players in our opinion in the Premier League. He's playing at a top 5 player in the league. He's killing it, and Man United are on absolute fire at the moment. And they won. Obviously, they won yesterday against Chelsea 2-0, and they've got another away tie in the FA Cup to Wolves next, which will be a toughie. Go on the Wolves. What's your opinion on Solskjaer? Do you think he's got a chance of taking that job full time now?
Well, he is, isn't he? Has he been unveiled?
Has he?
I think so. Maybe no. I thought he was definitely there was talk of him getting it.
Furious typing to find out.
Yeah.
Do you think you're thinking the
so.
Beer Fridge podcast would research this thing? But
why would you bother doing things like that?
But
still caretaker currently on Wikipedia, but I think he's got to be in. He's got to be in a massive shout.
It has to be, doesn't he?
Other than his performance in Europe.
But at the same time, like, I know he's had
I don't know what the expectation was from in Europe, but
exactly, you've had the January window, which is never any good for any team anyway.
I know,
to get anybody in, but he's doing a good job with the players that he's been given. He's given Pogba a new lease of life, because at the start of the season, I thought Pogba was going to be leaving, but then he'd be kicking about. It was either him or Mourinho, and obviously Mourinho got the boot, and Pogba's stepped up to show the player that he is. I would be surprised if they didn't give it to Solskjaer now, after what he's done and how he's turned it around. I think to say to him, thanks for what you've done, but I'm going to get to somebody else now, would be a bit of a kick in the teeth.
I think it's. I think that would be a bit harsh. But that being said, I suppose if you're looking for flaws, I didn't think his tactics were up too much in the game against PSG, and I don't know. As I said, I don't know what the expectations were of him for in Europe. I don't know what was set by the board for him to achieve in Europe. But I think if there was an opportunity to go out and get a good result against PSG when they didn't have anybody there. Basically, they were missing a lot of their key players that they would normally have. It was the ideal opportunity for to go out and give him a game, and they didn't really do that. I thought in the first half they could have. Second half, obviously, they gave away a lot, and then got Pogba sent off, which makes it even harder.
It's probably the one thing about Solskjaer at the moment is like tactical wise, like what he's capable of, producing. And
that comes with time. I mean, I know he's done that particular gig before, but he's still determining his style and things like that.
Because all he's essentially done with the Man U team is just give them freedom and just let them play as they want to do and express themselves, and all he's asked for them is to work hard, which has worked obviously. And then obviously it comes to a situation where, like you said, they go against PSG, one of the best teams in Europe and the world, and they get kind of shown up tactically. I think
but his results in the Premiership against big teams are great, so I think it's maybe just a one-off. We'll see what happens in the next leg. It's going to be very difficult, but I think it's probably their best performance in Europe for a while, right?
Definitely. We have had a question.
Oh Christ!
We've had a question with regards to Sunday's match. Man United Liverpool, obviously, like we've just mentioned, Man U playing tremendously well at the moment, except from their obviously European tie against PSG. Liverpool at the moment are playing this evening against.
Is it finished?
Is it finished?
I think it finished on each
against Borussia Dortmund.
Is
it Dortmund?
No.
Who is it? That was Dortmund.
No, his name's Bayern Munich.
Oh, is it Bayern?
The other German team. Liverpool have been frustrated in Bayern draw.
I was close enough.
So I mean that does all right. I mean, at least they stopped Bayern scoring, so puts them on an even playing field for going back earlier. All they needed is score.
I was in the right country.
Yeah, they need to score an away goal, but
Bayern in München.
Liverpool are capable of that. I think this is where Liverpool could maybe drop. They could maybe drop points. And this will be the difference between them and a Man City, is they could drop points because they're concentrating on something else.
They'll
need
bigger.
To show all their depth and all their resilience in order to get a result at Man United, who are playing really well.
Both teams are playing fairly well at the moment. It's probably, to be honest, for Liverpool, if they're going to have a chance and they want to win the Premier League, I think this game on Sunday against Man United is a big game, and deciding where the Premier League title ends this year. Like you said, Man U are playing tremendously well. Essentially a completely new team, with eye test wise, looking at them tactically, etc. with Solskjaer, and obviously Liverpool coming off this evening's performance against Bayern in München. It'll be a tough one, but it'll be a good day. It'll certainly be a good day. I look forward to watching it, I'll tell you that. Tell you that right now, Jeff.
That'd have been good money. Both games in Europe the night to finish nothing each.
Aye.
Lyon Barcelona was nothing each as well.
No, it's true. And again, it's just here. It's as if I've got a feed of fucking shit coming through. It's mainly from my mum.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
My dad's just reminded me that Van Dijk wasn't playing this evening, which is correct. I heard it in the radio and I completely forgot about it. Van Dijk and the other centre half, somebody else wasn't playing. They had two no playing.
And is that for Sunday?
No, for this evening.
No, I mean, is that to rest them, or is that injury?
I think it's the yellow card rule pish.
Is it? They're suspended.
Aye.
That's probably worked out alright for them then.
So for Sunday, they're probably looking, especially at the back, he's going to be rested.
Christ. So they played Matip and Fabinho at centre half.
You know what? I don't even know why. I see, before we started the podcast, I sat here and I watched it in the telly. I watched the fucking lineup. I haven't done whatever. Air swipe.
You had Shaqiri on the bench, but brought on Origi.
Oh, Origi.
That seems silly.
It does. Anywho, some big news. Big news in the South Coast, in the Eastbourne South Coast. I know. The former Motherwell and Aberdeen boss, Big Mark McGee, is in the building. Eastbourne Borough. He's back in management. Mark McGee.
And what is his transfer budget?
Fuck knows. Fucking about
two pies.
£2.
2 pies.
And think, you know what? The funniest thing is, like, he's announced as caretaker manager, not the actual fucking full blown manager. Caretaker. I was like, what, you expecting to get somebody?
What's he doing there?
No idea. Well, he used to manage Brighton as well.
I know, but why is he still hanging about?
Fuck knows.
You drinking with him at the pub and that?
Well, I'll be going down to.
Here's a good quiz question for you then, right? Okay. Let me sort this out.
I'm pish at quiz.
Less than 30 seconds.
See if we're sitting in a family quiz, right? I'm hopeless at them. I always look at my dad, because my dad always mouths the answers to me. I'm like, what's the fucking music?
What league? There you go. What league do Eastbourne Borough apply their trade in currently?
Oh, it's like the 6th tier of English football, I believe. It's like the National League South.
Is
that right?
Just about to see and find out. FA registered, they're playing let me see, they play, it's a community club apparently. Goodness me.
Go tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Goodness
I'm desperate here.
I'm trying to keep you going. I've got multiple questions here.
I think I'm right. Don't ask me where they're positioned. I think they're 3rd or 4th.
National League South.
Yes! Fucking your dancer!
Correct. Right, here you go. Closest to the mark, or how close you get to the mark. What's the capacity of their stadium?
Oh, fucking box. See for a National League South team, it's a half decent wee stadium. It's a 3G pitch, I know that much.
Christ, allowed. Banned.
And also the wind comes in from the southeasterly direction. I'm gonna say I've got 3,500.
4,151.
Here, to be fair, that's no bad.
That's not too far away. Yeah,
that's no
pretty
bad.
good with that. Where do they play? What's the ground?
I don't know what it's fucking called. Bollocks. I take the dog a walk around it as well on the outside. I don't know.
Priory Lane.
Priory Lane. Bastard.
Priory Lane.
Priory
there you go.
Lane.
And what colours do they play in?
Red and black.
Good shout. Red and black. Home away colours are blue and yellow.
Here, you'd think with the knowledge, I'm a fucking season ticket holder. Here, Eastbourne Borough, if you're listening, get me sorted.
Caretaker manager. Danny Bloor and Charlie Oatway have got to be absolutely raging. Because they are assistant manager and first team coach respectively, and they've decided to bring in Mark McGee instead.
Mark McGee, former
You're
Motherwell
promoting one of
and
these guys.
You know what's funny, right? So when I found this, it's funny how the different media outlets word this. So I don't know how it popped up. I don't know why I've typed in Mark McGee. It somehow popped up somewhere. And then I typed it into Google, and if it's a Scottish outlet, it will say former Motherwell and Aberdeen. And then if it's further south, it'll be Leicester and Brighton. I'm like, fucking bastards. Don't know why that's interesting, but it is to me. It is to me to see how all these daubers word it. But big Mark McGee in the South Coast, Eastbourne Borough. When's their next? Are you on their website or something? I'm
on their Wikipedia page. Apparently Scott Ramsey's the best player that's ever played for them. He's got their most goal record. He's got most goals in a season, and he's got most league goals in a season.
They're no fucking seen me.
First player to earn a full international cap while at the club is a boy called James Walker for Antigua and Barbuda in September 2012.
Yeah, laugh. They had an international.
Yep, the highest transfer fee received was 25 grand for Yemi Odubade to Oxford United.
I was going to say to what a League One side or something.
Their highest attendance is 3,770 versus Oxford United.
There you go. So,
in the FA Cup round 1, November 5th, 2005. Obviously they had fireworks on that night.
wasn't even a sellout.
Guaranteed to have fireworks on that night, and everybody in Eastbourne Borough went to the Eastbourne Borough game to watch the 3 fireworks after it. Guaranteed.
No, here's a laugh for you. So there's another team. They're called. I think it's Eastbourne Town or Eastbourne United or fucking Eastbourne fucking inbreds. And they had an FA Cup tie, a qualifying tie against Crawley Town. So obviously, this Eastbourne team, they're an amateur team. Crawley Town. Get your head back in the screen, you.
Sorry.
I noticed. Crawley
Town. Taking
Town.
off our taste.
Crawley Town
Live.
are League 2, maybe League. I can't remember what they are. Anyway,
It's gonna be good with cheese.
the attendance at this place is maybe. I've been a few times and it's a normal
4.
amateur. Aye, 4 or 5. And then for the Crawley Town coming in, there must have been a couple of hundred. The place was rammed. Just because it's Crawley Town, they got hammered about 8-0 or something. It was hilarious. But the best thing was you could drink a beer while you're watching the football. Whereas nowadays you can't, which is pish. Absolute garbage. I've got nothing else written down, mate.
No, me neither.
Well, you never.
Not that I wrote
I
anything.
was gonna say,
just
you
that.
never write fucking anything down. Shut your hole.
It's all up here.
But to be it's mainly what I've got.
And when you text me.
So yes, Beerfish Podcast, as always, head over to, as we say, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Search Beerfish Podcast. The Twitter is Beerfish Pod. Also search Beerfish Network, actually, because I believe it's under that, now that I think about it. Head over to the beerfishnetwork.com. up there in the top corner. Head over there, you can see latest podcasts that are underneath the umbrella of the Beerfish Network, which I'll say again, MLS Aces. For your soccer needs, Beer Nomicon and Spotlight Sport Podcast, all part of the Beer Fridge Network. I've got nothing else. I've got that all day. That sounds alright to me, doesn't it? Sounds like a proper job. Until next time. Thank you.
Cheers, John Leslie, for the fact checking.
Cheers, John Leslie, for fact. Until next time, we will see you on the next episode of the Beer Fridge Podcast. Goodbye.
Catch you later.